Welcome back, everyone. So, yeah, as you know, this is our series about automation testing using Selenium, TestNG, and Cucumber with Java. So, for this session, we're going to create our first project and also link it with Cucumber. So, and this particular training is done by Blue Sky Citadel, and yeah, my name is JG Ogunaja. All right, so as we know about how we organize it, it's going to be 1 hour. So for the first phase of this particular training, then after that we open like kind of a workshop so that then everyone can follow what I've done and make sure we're on the same page. So that's what is going to happen. So today we're going to make sure we are able to create our first Java project. Everything is fine. So I'm not going to use any slides, so I will just go through with IntelliJ right now. All right, what you need to first do, click on File, click on New Project, and you would see this screen. The next one is you click on Maven, and then it should load the archetype list for you. But we are not actually going to use the archetype or create any one, so we're going to just continue. Then we're going to write our group ID. Let's say Blue Sky Citadel. And active ID, we're going to do UI test. And I said the snapshot, you can leave it as it is. Then also the location where you want your file to be stored. I want to store in a different location. Maybe I'll call it new. So this is this guy's there. Yeah, test. Call it 3. I can say finish. Said the location doesn't exist, it will create one. Okay, do that for me, please. And I want it in a new window. All right, this window rather, sorry. So yeah, this is my test now, UI test 3, and this is the location of the particular test. And it's great is open the pawn for me. So as you can see, this is a pawn. So that is created for me, and some of those information, like I said, is going to be familiar to you. Group ID is what I've entered. Artifact ID is what I've entered. The snapshot or the version is what I also have entered. And this one, because my pawn is an XML, so it's got XML header, and of course with the project and end with the project. So I'm going to go now and I'll copy a pawn. So to complete what we're going to do, so the next step is now get your pawn populated, the right one. So I've created one, so I've got one here. So I'm going to send this link, or if you can go to that link, it is site.google.com view Blue Sky Citadel pawn home. So I'm going to send it to everyone now. So what are you going to? We need to be careful at this point. So what you need to do is copy. Okay, someone says I should maximize that. So okay, is so okay. What I want to do is copy everything to the end, to my build. I'll copy that. Okay, sometimes I just like to use the mouse so that everyone knows what I'm actually doing. Okay, then I'll go back to my phone. So now I've copied that phone, then I'm going to paste it before my project. So that will be on line, I'll put it at line 11. So I'm going to copy and paste what I have copied and paste it in line 11. So this is what I've got now. As you can see, it's now formatted for me. So, and if you have any error in your own, you just need to right click on the Maven, and it should have this test for you, your UI test. And then you can right click and say re-import. That should take any error that you have. So that is the first bit, importing your pawn. So that is the bit that we've done. So, and one thing I also say also, you can see downloading plugin for UI test. You need to make sure everything is clear and you don't have any error, and also cross check that that is checked and it ticked as green. And also beware, you have to be on the internet. Also, you have to have a network connection because it's going to be downloading for you. So you need to be sure that, okay, you have a network connection for you to be able to do this. So now this is what you've done. You've been able to update your pawn. So I'm going to go through what we have in there. We are going to use artifact ID of Java, Cucumber Java, and also we're going to use Cucumber JVM dependence. So we're going to use TestNG as our dependency also. And also we're going to use TestNG with and I've missed one also. It's going to actually excluding JUnit. So, and then we're going to also be using Cucumber reporting, which is very, very important for us. And that is basically dependency. So, and we have other plugins that we also need. Maven plugin, we also going Maven Surefire plugin, and also Maven Cucumber reporting plugin. So those are very, very important. Then my project name, will replace this, as you can see, with my project name. So I've called my project. So I've called my project test. So I need to call my project UI test 3. So that is my project. Then I would import again. Okay. All right. So that everything should be fine. So that's what you would do. So, and if it doesn't work for you, later in the class we'll go through it again. So any questions? So we just cover pawn right now. So the next step now is, for me, I think we did this last week, but it's okay to go through it once again. So yeah, the pawn I posted to you is different from the last week one, actually. So because it seems most people are confused about the last week, so I just cut this one out completely. So you don't need to, it's not the full pond. I think the last week one was full pond, so people are confused on where to paste it and what to do, and also to amend it as it is. So this is basically me, deleting some things, and so it's totally different from last week. All right, so let's go. So I said the next one is for me to make sure my Java IntelliJ is plugged in properly. I've got I've got Cucumber rather for Java IntelliJ idea. So I just need to confirm that, or if not, so I need to go into settings. So then I go into my plugin and I search for on my installed, but just to confirm, I've got Cucumber. But if it's not installed, so you could go to Marketplace and then say Cucumber for Java, and then you can install. So I've got it installed, so I don't need to install. So if you install it, you might need to restart your IntelliJ, so for that to work. So, but we've done this in last week or 2 weeks ago, so I'm not going to go through that. I just need to clarify that bit again. Okay. So then the next bit is our project structure. So let's go to our project structure. We look into what we have. I said SRC is what I'm looking for when I expanded my project. So I go into the SRC, and under SRC, I've got 2 folders. One is my main, and the other one is the test. So under my test, I've got Java. So then under Java, so I need to now create some things. So I'm going to make it a bit easier today, so that people will know it's different from what we did last week. So, but just bear with me. So it's going to be a bit simpler than what we did last week. So under Java, what we need to do is we need to create some folders. So we need to create the step definition folder, and also we need to create other things that is needed at this particular point. So 1 minute, I'm going to under Java, right click, I'm going to new folder. Okay, package. So, and then my first package is step definition. And then I'm going to also create another folder. So I just want to do a simpler version than the one I did last week. So then I would create a new directory, and I'll call it resources. So this will be I'll make this my test resource root. And then I would right click on that one, and I'll create my feature file. So let's say I do say feature, another directory, say features. Then so this is going to be my folder structure right now. So what's going to happen, so it's a bit neater, so I don't want to complicate issues. So I've got my test resource at this point. So I've got a package here. So, and you have your Java and you have your resource folder, and inside your resource folder you have your feature file. So, and then you have your step definition inside. So this is what we're going to use today. So now what you need to do is to now create your new feature file. Let's say we are going to be creating a registration feature. So you right click on the feature and you click on new and you click on file. So when you do that, so we're going to say registration. And you're going to say OK, registration. Oh, sorry, I need to, yeah, sorry, I just need to cancel that. Registration dot feature. Okay, so that it properly maps it to Cucumber. So OK dot feature. So that brings this icon, and the Cucumber icon, and you can see my registration feature is written. So I can put whatever my features are in given when then. So that is the first thing I need to create right now. So let's say giving So I'm starting with, okay, maybe this is not even the best way. So, because I thought I'll first do that. So the first thing you first have to do is features, actually. So which feature am I doing? I'm doing registration. So then after that, you will follow that with scenario. So this is my scenario. What is my scenario? I would say valid registration. So I'll give it a tab so that it's indented. So valid registration, giving a navigator gift rate when I click on register button or link. Okay, let's do that in a given, and click on. So this is now when I get it. Then start. So this is what you will write. The first thing, you navigate to that site and you click on register link. Oh, sorry, I think this register. Okay. And then you fill on registration. Typo also. You fill on registration details and then you are register. Wow. Can't actually spell register. Okay, then I am registered. So that's what you would do for the feature file. So then the next step is our step definition. But before we do the step definition, we would do our test runner. So we do our test runner. So if you right click on the tests, Java one. So okay, right click on the Java and then you create your test runner. So which is going to be a Java class. So your test runner, you need to okay. Someone was asking me, are we supposed to use Git or okay, all right, no problem. Let's use Blue Skies. Okay. So navigate to Blue Sky starter site, then okay, that's no problem. So we can carry on. So on the test runner, we now need to create our test runner. So I'm going to start typing, but later I will copy and I will send this one also to you. So if you can get the test runner. Okay, so if I 1 minute, so think I got this one also. Yeah, okay. This is sample of my test runner. So I'm going to copy this and I'll send this link also to you. Then I'll explain what is there. So I'm going to replace that with this one. So you need to be careful so that if your test runner is not what you've created here is a different type case, whether it's lowercase or is case sensitive, you need to be sure. So it has to be test with capital T, R with capital R if you are going to be using the code I sent to you. So, but if it's different, you need to make sure your class is same thing with the file that you've entered there. Otherwise, you're going to have error message. So right now, you don't need to worry about what is at the top. So because this is import of different classes we are going to use. So the first one that you need to look into is the feature. So this is very, very important because this is where your feature file are stored. So if you store in a different location, you need to cross-check and change it from here. So as you can see, my feature is stored in SRC and test and resources, features, and that's my feature files are going to be stored. So I've only got registration.feature right now. So that is very, very important. Then also, because you know your feature file is only text actually. So and you're going to be creating step definition in Java. So there will be kind of a binding or a glue to make sure what you've written in your feature file is there's a corresponding step definition for them. So, and you need to specify that in your glue to say my step definition is stored in this particular folder, which is step in this particular package rather, which is step dev. So if you write step definitions here, then it means your package that you've created should be step definition. That is very, very important that you do so. This is not, the tags is not important, but we're going to, as of now, but we're going to talk about the tags later and why you need to put that, but you can just leave that as it is. Then going to the format. So you have like 4 different formats here. So more often we're going to be using the pretty and the XML or HTML. So as in our report. So, but let's leave this as it is. So then it comes to your class declarations. You have your test runner, and you are going to be using the TestNG Cucumber runner, so which is already initialized actually. So you declare it at the point so that you can use it later. All this will still remain as it is. So and so yeah, so that this is fine, and our data provider, we were okay because we're going to use feature files, and then always run is true after class. So we leave it as it is. So what we are in this particular file, what we are more particular about is what you have in your Cucumber options. It's very, very important to cross-check that your Cucumber options is right. So that is fine. So this is how you would write your test runner so that it actually can locate your feature file. So the next step now is we're going to do our TestNG XML. So this is also another one that another file I need to send across to you. So 1 minute, let me do that. So now my TestNG.xml, I need to create that. So okay, before, let me just go back to IntelliJ. So now the root folder, I would create my, so you need to right click on that. I will create my XML file. TestNG.xml. So as you can see, it should be at the same level with your font that you have. So you have it at the same level with your font. So if I go to the TestNG, then I can paste what I have. So on this one. Okay, so now I've got the TestNG here. So I can paste that location to you. So I can copy then I can then later explain what it's doing. So like I said, your IntelliJ has got autosave, so it's going to save automatically. Now we have an XML, so most important, what you're going to be looking is the class. My class should be the same, my test runner, that's what it is called. So if your test runner is different, you need to correct that. And then what's going to happen is like my test is going to have this name, so I can change this one if I don't like it. But I can say this is Blue Sky Training. So I would change that later in the particular site, Blue Sky Training testing. Okay, so and you are free to exactly what you want. So, blue sky, no, this will be my test. So maybe this is my first one is registration. So this is your suite, but I think you can leave it as it is for now so that it doesn't confuse you. We talk about this later. So okay, that is most of the thing that we need to do. And the next one is your step definition. So if you go to this test and on Java, you would create your step definition. So right click on the step definition and click on new and file. And then let's say registration step. What did I? Hold on, sorry. Think that should be a class. What did I say? Okay, just to be sure, I'm clicking. So that should be a class actually, Java class. Okay, all right, cool. So now I've got my registration class. So now I need to get my step definition for all this, right? Then you can say create, and it's going to create all the steps for you. So if you say create all the steps, and you would, yeah. So there are two ways to do this actually. You can, okay, it's using, what do you Java anyway? No, Java 8. So you can say you can create your name. So okay, let's do that instead of this. Actually, maybe this is better. Let's cancel. Okay, so because I've already created this manually, I can copy and paste. But maybe the first instance, let me know. Okay, it's fine. I will create a new one, but it's not going to be called registration step. So from here, you can click on that arrow and say generate all steps. So, and I will call this maybe reg steps. So that's what I want to call. And it's going to be stored in this particular location, but I don't want it to store in that location. So I want it to store in step definition. So what you need to do is to just click on that folder and specify your step definition. So that's where I want it to be stored. Then you can click on OK. So like I said, I want Java. I don't. So I prefer it to be. Hold on. Okay. Okay. It's going back to. Okay. All right. So then I can click on OK. So this is. Okay. I think it's actually only did one. So it only did one for me apparently. So but I thought I click on all. Oh, okay. I think I thought I click on all, but apparently I click on only one. So, and I want to click everything. So I can say, so maybe I should do that again. So initially, right, what I did was this create step definition, which is only going to create only one step definition for me. But I want to also create everything on a go. So I'll click on that so that it creates that step definition for me. So then it's going to say, do you want to choose or you want to create a new one? Because I've already got one step on registration step definition, I can select this and I say, okay, yeah. So as you can see now, I've got all the steps. However, I think I've missed one. So I've got given and so okay. So I think it's even only doing one anyway. So apparently it's not even okay. Maybe this is a bug. Yeah, okay. It's doing one after the other. Maybe I don't know. Okay. So as you can see, the one that is done is the one that is not highlighted. So the one that you don't have a binding is the one that is not highlighted. So this is one is not yet binded. So you can go and say create step definition for that. And then you can say you want to create a new file or you want to create on the same place that we have. So you can see I've got all my 4 steps. So my first step is here right now. So the first one is I giving and agree to Blue Sky site, and I click on registration link and I fill in registration details and then I am registered. So this is the step. So what you're going to have now is to run. We can try to run it and see if it's worked. So then what I'm going to do is lifecycle, go on to the lifecycle and then click on clean and look at here and see what's going to happen. So process finished, so there's no error, it's build successful. So then I'll do the test. So as you can see, it's compiling. Okay. So it's finished. Surface, so I think that one should be fine. I think. So it's saying source option 5 is no longer supported. So we see use 7 instead. Okay, all right, that's fine. So let's try to compile. Okay, nothing. So which is fine. Install. I would go through this one. So one thing like the clean is that just clean your build and does the clean everything, does not create your jar. So then after that, compile will compile and create a jar. So then the test helps you to create your test and run your test and see if there's anything fails or pass. So, and if you go into the target, you can see now there's a target folder actually created for you. So you can go into there and see what is the status. So if your test passes, it's going to create a report for you. So this is a feature. So okay. So 1 minute. So what we have this error. So which I don't know what that error is. So this is first time I've seen it anyway. So I'm going to Google for that error. So just need to row that we've done. So just copy and paste. So as you can see, this happens when you are trying to build a Spring Boot or NVM install, or there's this. So you should use this. So downgrade to, I don't want to downgrade, so okay. So apparently this is got a very high tick in terms of answer, so I'm going to copy that one. Then so I'm going to it actually said, okay, you need to paste it on, you need to add it to your pon file. So and I would do that. So my pon. So as you can see, then I just need to re-import my changes. So that is that. So if I refresh, so then I run my test again. So as you can see, it's saying target 6 no longer supported, then use 7. I just thought, okay, initially it was complaining about 5, so now I can think, okay, maybe 7 is what he's talking about. So I can change that to 7. Then re-import my changes and test again. So as you can see now, the test is running. So, and this is another way to actually create your step definition. So this is, as you can see now, I have commented the step definition that I've created before, because I'm actually trying to see the issue. We are not using this step definition again, so we are using this particular step. Oh, it's not even, okay. I'm going to copy that into, so this is one that I've commented out, but to be honest, I don't need that. So I need to, we can use this right now. So I'm going to drop this. So one way also is like you can create your step definition by, the first thing is, okay, another way to do this. I'm going to drop the one that we created, this one. Investment button. Yes. So now if I need to use this, as you can see, the step definition that on the feature file is now highlighted once again because there's no step. So I want to create the step again. So I've created the, okay, let me delete this right now. So to actually give you another way to create the step. So initially, I have done this and I've created that step, right? So another way to do that is you manually create your step as I've done and say Java class and say it is step. So whatever you want to call it, let me call it register step, registration steps. So with S, I'll say okay. So this is my step now. So this is manually created for me. So But then, so what I could do is I could run my test. When I run my test, it's going to complain that there's some tests that don't have step definition, as you can see. It's going to say, oh, if you scroll up, yeah, you can, yeah, see, you can say that when it's running the test, so there's some step without step. There's no on is that they are not defined. 4 steps are not defined. So now you can implement the missing step using this particular snippet. So it copies those snippets for you, and you can copy them and paste into your class. But make sure you paste it inside the class. So that is one way to do that. So as you can see, it's now copied. So now what you now need to do, resolve those issues. So like go into the, so it said cucumber is required, so you press Alt Enter. So that is already enter, giving yes is there. So also when you go to the when, you press Alt Enter. So it said which one do you want? I want cucumber API. So and the same thing with then Alt Enter. Alt, yeah, import class. So that is one way to do that. So you can, yeah. So I've actually given you 2 steps on how to do this, but as you can see, the best one is to, yeah, create it from here as when you, let's say another step. If I create another step and I say like, what's it called? Someone mentioned that I mistyped that. So if I change this to 2, this is kind of a new step. So as you can see, it's been highlighted. So, and I can create that particular step by saying that. So, and I say, okay, yeah, maybe you should give it, go into this particular step. So that does automatically for me. But, or I can say this. But the difference is like, if you use that approach, the binding is done automatically for you. The import is done automatically for you. You don't need to be pressing Alt Enter every time. So that's what you should look into. So now, let's try to run our test. It's going to fail because there's some throw exceptions or this one. So, but it's not going to complain that there's some missing steps. But it's going to complain. It's going to throw an exception that okay. So as you can see, so pending to do. So, but I can comment them out and see what the issue is. So let's comment all the pending throw exceptions because I don't want you to throw any exceptions. So then, okay, you can see the one I did before hasn't got any throws. The one I did by right clicking and say create step definition doesn't have that, but the one I copied were the one that have the throw exception. So let's run the test again. Double click on the test. So my test has got some warnings. So it's gone. So that test is passed and all the tests passed because there's nothing actually in there. So as you can see, these are my tests and then they're all passed and with 0.247 seconds, and that's it. So that is where we're going to stop today. But okay, maybe we just, as you can see now, the Cucumber report is created for you. You can go and then open the report, right click, and you can say open in, let's see, open, yeah, in browser. I can open in Chrome. So this is my test and everything is green. So we don't have anything inside technically, to be honest. So, but next week you're going to start creating something inside. So this is basically where we're going to stop today because of the time that we have. So we